At 6 o'clock, I need a roll call. Carol Cahill,
Here.
Janet,
Yes.
Jack,
Here.
Ken,
Here.
myself, and I know Carol's here, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I need approval of the minutes from January 20th, 2021. Do I have a motion?
Me.
Zeb, okay.
Yeah. Second.
Zeb and Jack. Got that, Janet?
Yes, I'm getting it.
Okay, I need a roll call. Carol Cahill,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
and myself, and I'll check with Carol. Okay, the next meeting is Wednesday, March 17th. Great day, huh?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
What are you agreeing?
Well, as somebody said to me, where could you go anyway? So, Carol?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Carol, we had the approval of the minutes from January 20th, 21. You
Yep.
all set with that?
Yes, fine.
Okay, and you are here. Okay, so said the next meeting is March 17th. Next to reports, Library Director Liz.
Circulation is down a lot from this year last month, but I think this year last month was high. I think that's the reason. Ebook usage is still good. Are there any questions on the statistics part?
Sorry.
No.
Sorry, Liz. Competition.
We're still doing the take and make crafts and virtual story times and online book group. We've started, I didn't put on here, we've started making crafts for kids who are in remote kindergarten. They get picked up by the kindergarten teachers and they do the crafts at home. So that's exciting. No building issues at the time this was prepared, but we did have, we had sewer backup on Friday night. It started. It got fixed yesterday. It backed up a little bit into the public bathrooms and the elevator pit, but we caught it pretty early, and it just took until yesterday to get the drain company in, but they fixed it. It didn't take too long. And the sewer department will come back with cameras to make a map of the system.
You should have smelled the elevator Friday afternoon. I thought the staff had cooked something really bad. It was
Yes,
that
Pat
bad,
is actually the one who detected
That's a
it.
polite way of saying it.
I was hoping that's what it was, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. Curbside pickup still being used at the same rate. Still doing online meetings. I deposited 2 checks to the gift account last month. Are there any questions on this?
Yes.
Yep.
How much money was deposited to the gift account?
Oh, it's at the bottom, $120. It was 2 donations. One was a memorial donation,
I see.
and
Okay.
one was somebody donated money to buy specific books. So that was used for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, financial budget, Liz?
Are there any questions on this one? We're about 66% of the way through the year, so the book spending is right on track. Supplies is still high, but it's because of COVID.
Excuse me, Liz. I'm sure there are going to be some line items due to the conditions that we're under, what have you, that won't be utilized as they have in the past. Do you have some idea on those that you can perhaps move into other accounts, or has the town come out with any suggestions? I know it's very early. Certainly postage is a very small example of something.
Yeah. Yes, we should have some there, although there's some uncertainty with the phone line because we just changed phone or in the process of changing phone systems and haven't received a bill on the new from the new company yet, so we're not sure what that amount will be. So there's some unpredictability there. Building repairs, we were doing well, but of course it didn't last. I don't know how much this spur job will cost, but we'll find out. HVAC so far is slower than usual. Hopefully that continues to be the case. Mileage we shouldn't be using. The programming one is high because we renewed our movie licensing subscription this year, but that's like an every 3 years thing. Any other questions?
I did notice on the technology, and I just might be missing it, Liz,
Mhm.
that there's a charge of $300 for a month,
Mhm.
391. But then the year-to-date spent is $1,500.
Sounds not very good.
Oh, sorry, Pat. Yeah.
On you
microphone-
and Liz, on you and Liz.
Oh, my microphone has gone and we have a new one on order, so I apologize. So did you get me, Liz?
Yes. I will have to check on that. I did not
Okay.
notice. I will figure it out and email everyone.
That's fine.
Okay. Anything else on this one?
Okay, next, Ken, treasurer's report.
January 31st, 2021 Treasury Report. Our previous money market balance was $122,470.78. The only financial action, we earned $41.51 at 0.399% for January's monthly interest. Our new available fund balance is $5,945.62, and our January 2021 money market account is $122,512.29. That is all.
Okay. Any questions on that?
Can I just ask for clarification? It says that there was a deposit of $120. Is that what you're referring to, Liz?
Yes, it was 2 gifts, a memorial donation in memory of Lois Doherty, and someone donated money for specific books that they wanted purchased.
I just wanted to put it in the right place. Okay.
Yep. And Carol, I just remembered the answer to your question. The financial report, if you look, it's like collapsed to fit on one page. So not all of the months are on here, but I have the whole thing here. And there was a $1,200 charge in September, which I'm pretty sure is a database renewal, but I will check. But that makes the total $1,500.
Okay, review of schedules of departmental bills payable. Any questions? No?
No.
Okay, next on the agenda is the annual report to the town, and I would like to address this first. As I had always understood, Beverly gave us an advance copy of the annual report as a courtesy only. I saw it early last year because I was asked to add a small paragraph to it. So I called Beverly today to make sure that I had the right facts about this. And Beverly said she always gave a copy after submitting the report. And although it is a report of the trustees to the town, the task falls to the library directors because trustees do not have the complete information. And this is a very narrow window of time between the end of the calendar year and the due date. Bylaws say it is a calendar report, but Beverly includes fiscal year stats because it is time consuming to recalculate half of one FY year and half of another year. She always tried to ask at a December trustees meeting if there was anything special they wanted emphasized or added. And if the question is about trustees report, she said she highly doubts this is the case in libraries with small staffs, and the report was never voted on while Beverly was the director for 17 years, or not during a prior director for 5 years either. Then I had meant to ask in December if anybody had anything they wanted to add, but the December's meeting got a little contentious and I kind of got distracted and didn't remember to ask. So that part is my fault, but I don't know if that addresses anything, Carol.
Yes, for the other trustees, I went through line by line the annual report and then was disappointed to find out that it had already been submitted. I understand past practice that Beverly's done that, but Liz is a new director. And I think that we should have received the courtesy of seeing it before it was sent to the town. Because I do believe that we lost the opportunity to talk about how the library has their COVID response, which was never mentioned in the report, was excellent and what we've done. So that was my disappointment that we were.
But I
not
think
as
that could go,
excuse
Carol.
me, Pat.
Yeah, I'm
We
sorry.
were not as enthusiastic about truly how the whole team, even during a layoff or a furlough for a period of time, pulled together for community services, as limited as they were, but then continue through into the well, that wouldn't be covered, their fall issues and what have you. But the team did a good job during a very difficult situation, and that's what I really wanted to see emphasized, and we unfortunately lost the opportunity to do that. So
Can it be
that's my
amended?
big concern.
But
That's
Carol,
what I was wondering.
Carol, can't that be all added then for next year? I mean,
Uh,
I know what you're saying, but then again, like I said, Liz hasn't been in the position long enough, and all she had to go by was what previous years. And I believe that she had talked to Beverly about it. And am I correct, Liz?
Yes, and I just didn't anticipate, maybe I should have, that would be a problem this year. I'd be happy to do it differently next year. And I did mention COVID related stuff in the other sections of the report, just not in a separate COVID section. And I will do that differently next year.
No, I appreciate that, Liz. But I also think that, and utilizing Beverly as a resource is a very nice thing to do. But you are a new director, and I think that the other resource you have are the trustees. And I think that they should be utilized in certain situations also. And I know Pat is certainly a good resource for you. But that was it. And yes, I think definitely next year going forward, it needs to be a lot more enthusiastic about the COVID response that the library has been doing, continues to do, and what the plans are for services in the future. So that we really, I mean, the library has stepped up a great deal, so it needs to be recognized.
I did.
That's my point.
say
That's
that-
Thanks, Carol.
That's all.
Thank you.
I did say that in the staff section, but maybe
No,
that
no,
was
I
not
know.
the
There were plenty of the recognitions appropriately enough, Liz, no doubt about that.
Okay.
But I think there's also a way in which we could perhaps give ourselves a little more public personality out there, even though it's a report that 99.9% of the people in Rockland probably never read. But nevertheless, it's still, it is the town's report. And I think it's very worthwhile. So that's fine. That's it. That's all I have to say about it.
Can I say something?
Sure, Janet.
When it comes time to present the budget, which we've all been trying to go, but we won't be able to this year, no doubt, but Liz will be stuck there. Hopefully it'll be a Zoom meeting with the selectmen. That would be a good time for someone to speak about that in public on the selectmen's meeting, just as a follow-up for this year. And then again, to follow up, like as Carol recommended, for next year. It's the finance committee actually, but it's good for them to know too, how hard they've worked with minimum tools.
So Liz, I guess it'll be the new practice before the report goes out, the trustees will get it first.
Yeah, I was just following the existing timeline, but I can see how,
Like
Yeah,
I said,
well-
and for the last 22 years, it was never done
Yeah.
any differently. So,
Yep.
okay,
Note to self.
notes, right. Okay, next on the agenda is the report of the library director's evaluation. Anybody have questions for Liz? I mean, you can give her the questions tonight. If there's anything that she can't answer, it'll be on the next agenda also. Everybody's had a chance to read the evaluation.
Yes.
I want to thank everybody. I thought it was a pretty good evaluation.
Yes, I hope Liz did.
Okay.
yes, I think everyone was
Yeah,
kind. Thank you.
Stepping in like you did to transition and to COVID, Bev leaving, all that stuff with the expectations that people have had of you, not us, but more of the public and your staff. I think you've done an amazing job.
Thanks.
The whole life changed when you moved chairs.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, next on the building projects and repairs, Liz.
I copied these from an old agenda and they are all still current. We had, there was a storm a couple of Mondays ago, I think the first, there was rain and snow, and that night we got some water on the floor of the children's room. Not in the exact same area where the repair was done, but kind of under the old front stairs, I think. It dried up within a day, but we will have somebody from the building department look at it when they are back. They are out of the office right now, but when they're back, we'll have them look at it.
so it's right, it's not moldy or anything.
No, it dried, yeah. And it looks like there's been water in that area before, but not in a while. So we'll see if we can figure out what's going on. I'm not sure whether it came up through the floor or through the wall, but I'll see if we can figure it out. On the windows, we're just waiting for the windows now. Getting materials like that is delayed right now, so it's going to be a while. But they'll start the work once they're here. And then I was hoping to have more of an update on the workroom, but it's taking a long time to get quotes. I'm chasing the contractor. I have some numbers for flooring and furniture, but the contractor piece is the biggest question mark, I guess. I don't know what the amount.
Liz, you want to give those two quotes that you do have,
Sure.
please?
The amount that I got for furniture was about 7,000, but it didn't include wall cabinets, which we were wondering about, and I'm waiting for an answer from WB Mason on that. And then the flooring was about 2,200 for just the workroom. I've been trying to get a plumber in here to get a quote to reconnect the sink, but one company told me that that job is too small to even come and give a quote. So I will estimate that.
Liz, I have a question.
What about Hoadley? Is Hoadley too small?
They will not call me back. I'm not sure why.
Oh, okay. I just
Yeah.
want,
What about the plumbing, the whatever, plumbing inspector? Would
Yes,
he-
I talked to him and he gave me the name of the company that did the repair 2 years ago on when the pipe broke in the wall. But then another company told me that it was such a small job that I figured they probably wouldn't do a quote either. But I'll estimate. They said it would be under $1,000. So I'll put that number in. That's not the biggest one that I'm waiting on. I think the construction part is more important.
Liz, in regard to the floor, what sort of work was that for $1,200?
It was 2,200,
Or,
and since it's all the old floor, is already removed. I guess that will save some time, and it's just putting down new tile.
New carpet tile?
We're
No.
looking at like resilient floor tile instead.
I think in the last packet, an image of it was sent, last month's package.
I don't think that defined what the materials were. That's that. Yeah, I understand. Because I was
You
wondering.
putting in a subfloor too?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they must be putting a subfloor and then for
I
that,
would have to.
Mm.
Liz, on my question would be, you said the furnishings quote did not have the upper cabinets.
Mhm.
Does it include, I presume you're meaning desk and chairs and everything on that side of the wall, but does it also include underneath the long work table cabinets?
Yes, it does include those.
So it is just the upper ones that you're missing.
Yep, and
Right.
we actually hadn't talked about chairs, but I will add those too.
Oh, $7,000? Could we have a breakout of that? That seems awfully high.
I will send it to you, but it doesn't have a lot of details. Like it doesn't have the specific like lines of from the manufacturer, which is I have asked for that too and haven't heard
Yeah.
back yet.
Carol, I believe that that's the last picture that Liz sent me and you
Yeah.
yesterday, that would be the 7,000, right?
Yeah, everything in that drawing.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised that I'm just kind of surprised. It does seem a bit high.
Well,
But
that that line of furniture, I think I mentioned before, is what the person who I talked to from the state bought in Woburn. And then when I mentioned that to WB Mason, I acted like it was expensive for us.
oh,
So maybe it is.
for all the numbers, if it's 7,000 and 2,200 and we add 10%, we're looking basically at $12,000.
Yeah,
Right.
but that doesn't include any of the construction part, like replacing the
Right.
drywall. And
So then we're, okay, so we could even say there's 8,000 more there. So we just,
Yeah.
yeah, all right. Well, I mean, that part we know. We know that's, about,
I think we're thinking a little higher.
huh?
I think we're thinking a little higher.
Be up to
Okay,
20.
good, all right.
You're talking sheetrock and then painting the walls.
Well, I mean,
Didn't make
that,
it.
there's still ideas out, Liz, on that wall with the cubby holes, right?
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I was thinking sheetrock, but they would still like to keep some of those cubby holes. So it might be just certain areas between the cubby holes.
Yeah, there's a built-in counter that will need to be removed. And then we were trying to figure out a way to make those cubby holes like a little more functional by maybe reworking them a little bit.
Huh. You know, would it be more efficient to put cabinetry over those cubby holes?
That was my first thought.
yeah, I thought that too. I think everybody's first thought was that exactly. But then when I
Yeah.
saw how they utilize them, they
Mm.
can actually be used for their functions much better, staying the way they are.
Mm.
They need to add certain things like some dowels because of all the some of the material that they use to process books and things and what have you. So keeping them open, they certainly all need to be painted and probably need to be kind of finished a little better than they are. And some of the shelving, it should be adjustable shelving that's in there. So that's perhaps an added expense right there. But yeah, keeping them would be worthwhile from my point of view.
That's why I think that wall is adding the cost up a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
Depending on what we do, yeah.
Well, and then you've got the sink and the long table.
Right.
So,
Okay. How you doing, Pat? Almost done.
almost
Yeah.
done. Almost done.
Okay, anything else on that?
As far as building projects, just to maybe talk about, you know, one thing I noticed, I was up at the building today.
I know.
and, something that everybody I think is interested in is storage. or the lack thereof. And looking at the meeting room is 60 feet long and 28 feet wide. If we, and this is just something to think about, if you built a wall out 8 or 10 feet from the existing wall on the children's room side and turn that into a storage room, you'd lose some space in that big room, but the amount of storage, say if you had a room 10 feet by 20 feet, that would be huge for storage. If you put like the shelves that were put up in the children's room closet, that we did that a couple of years ago. They're like they're 6 feet high, they're 4 feet wide, they're 18 inches deep. You could fill the space 10 by 20 with a lot of shelving.
I personally think that that's a pretty good idea. But I would say like maybe a few months once we open, because right now we're still trying to get computers, at least
I have
two
another
computers
idea.
set up. Hold on, Zeb.
All
At
right.
least two computers set up in the meeting room, in which case we would have, where the books still have to be quarantined, we would have them down that section right now as, as an idea, and then have the computers,
This
they'd have to be 6 feet apart, so they'd be up the front of the meeting room, like where we first come in. So I think personally, I think that's a good idea, but it would just have to, I think, wait until after COVID's over.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
It's got to be
also,
down the road.
Yeah,
I'm
Zeb?
old school on this. I like, we talked years ago about having a portable door. We could split the room
Exactly.
functions. That I personally think where the trash is, we have 60 boxes or 50 boxes of stuff there that we could throw out. They're all on the top shelves because I packed them there. There's all kinds of boxes there.
You're the culprit.
If we took, when we walked down the landing going out the front door and took that stuff out of there and put the Christmas stuff and all that stuff up in there, then we would have an area that we could take out the shelving, seriously consider putting a new floor in and designing and put racks in there, I think, for better storage, and you would have a key door. We have Christmas stuff, the way I see it, in a locked door, and we got in the junk room, we got paper from 1985 that we need to be free of it. We really do. It's bills from
1985.
recent, it's ridiculous pieces of paper that need to go away.
And
I
Liz, do you want
No,
to address that briefly about nothing gets shredded until,
Yep, it is on my list of things to tackle though during this time.
No, but in terms of talking space, that's my personal vision, is that I think that the room going down the stairs is super underutilized, that room there. And maybe that can be transformed into shelves in and high storage in there. And then, I don't know, clean it up.
It's good, but it's not enough. It's
Yeah,
not
I like
enough.
both ideas.
yeah,
Say if
Well, then, maybe we're at less is more. I don't know.
No, I think both of them are good ideas to plan for the future. I just want to mention that we will need to consider moving the film screen and the overhead projector because it has to be a certain amount of feet. And I don't know if you remember that Tim Wells came and fixed the whole thing for us because it was not mounted correctly foot-wise, distance-wise. So that's just, and I'm sure he's been great. So not
but
speaking.
as we said, this would be after COVID.
Yeah, but it's great to just keep in mind some ideas. I think that room is underutilized.
Right.
It would be great.
We've got 2 rooms that we can work out of.
Yes.
We've got, if that's just gutted with stuff out, Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe reorganizing the archive rooms and doing stuff there,
Please.
and move stuff around. Who knows?
Well, that would be,
You can hire people.
No. That's why you look at that archive room, there's stuff that does not belong in that room that needs to be stored
Right.
in a closet.
or thrown away.
Right.
I'll bet I said that.
De-accessioned. They have to be de-accessioned as you do it.
If you use that word, it sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah. So put forward to another meeting,
Sure.
many more meetings.
But the other thing, just to also to think about, are the sink countertops in the bathrooms downstairs, the public restrooms,
Yes.
an upgrade to the main desk. And I did talk to the custodian about the ceiling tiles. He's working on that. So we'll, that's in the works.
Right,
Yep, the tiles have been ordered. We're just waiting on them.
Yeah.
right. Okay, moving on to informational meetings, information and upcoming meetings, Liz. And I have one thing to do after you.
Janet, are we waiting on the date still on the shark program?
I'm waiting for you and Karen.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I
as
think
you
I wrote back, but I'll
in
check.
touch with the White Shark Conservancy again. They were supposed to come last April in person and to do a program, a family program, ages 8 and up. And obviously we couldn't. So we got the idea of doing it on Zoom, and they will present from, this is Marianne Longcarroll, by the way. I don't know if you remember her. Carol Cahill.
I don't think I know her.
Before your time. Anyway, so they have agreed for $150. The Friends will pay for it to do a Zoom program. We talked about the 26th because there's no school, but they can't do it. So I'd asked you about the 25th.
Yep,
So
think
you
that would
check the
work.
calendar?
that
And
would
I'll-
work for me.
I'll go forward with it. So, yeah, so we're trying to do a few things. And the other thing is that I inserted this, Liz, the Friends had a poetry prose event last night.
Yeah, how did it go?
Cheney is one of the stars, by the way. It went very well. I think there were 8 people there, Carol, huh? So everyone enjoyed themselves.
Yeah, he enjoyed it.
Yeah, John told a crazy story, and I don't even know if you know, Ginny Anderson's a very good poet, and so isn't John.
Yeah,
I mean, they write good stuff, not just
yeah.
they write good stuff. So, anyway.
We'll put that on the book. When he publishes the book, Janet, we'll put, he writes,
I'll review it for you.
I remember the days they used to do it in the conference room.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Anyway, it's a nice way for people to get together, just like this.
Yeah.
Try to get some things going. So.
Okay, now I received an email from Liz Landry from the town clerk's office today. She would like me to remind everybody that it's that time of year to complete the online conflict of interest. By April 9th, I will send you a link, and after you receive the link, will you all send me an email that you did receive it? So I can, let her know. So I will get the link mailed out to you tomorrow. Okay, and you'll have until April 9th to, I think everybody has done this number of times, so.
Yep.
Any questions on that?
no,
No.
I want to
Okay.
thank those of you that helped me get my signatures.
I didn't do much.
I'm bringing them up and dropping my forms off tomorrow.
Yay.
Okay. Now, Zeb, before I forget you want to talk about Beverly's?
Yes.
Have you received all the money, Zeb?
I'll go through everything. First of all, this is the,
beautiful.
it is.
It's nice.
Really?
Yeah. And it's got a nice view. I like it. And like I said, they made cards to go along with it. I've raised $325, from the people that have given me money. I paid him $300, and I have $25 left over.
To ship.
The hardest thing in the world, believe it or not, and Liz, you may have one. Anybody have an 18 by 24 inch box. It's, you know, it's the size is weird.
Let me check.
I gotta check too. I bought a printer today. I may have found it. And, but other than that, I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to wrap it, put it together. It's shrink wrapped. Barbara, I asked Barbara if she would, you know, tissueize it and, you know, swirl things.
Tissueize it.
What are the, hey, Ken,
Jack?
Ken, what are the dimensions of the painting framed?
Hold on a minute. I think I have a tape.
Pat, should we close the meeting? So this is just, or not?
Yeah, we'll close the meeting at what the time is 6:36. And I will need a motion to close and a roll call. Carol,
I make a
Carol
motion.
Cahill,
Second,
and two Carols,
yes.
and a roll call. Carol Cahill,
Yes.
Carol Mahoney,
Yes.
Jack Ward,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
Zeb,
Yes.
and myself. Okay, now we can continue with you, Zeb.
Just let me measure again.